What's up, everybody? My name's I'm a Slinky here, and guys, we got a big announcement. Uh, the player by the name of the server owner Melou, came out and said that she's no longer going to be the host of the server. Guys, I want to just share this. I want to share an experience with one of the things that Melou did that really cultivates of why I think the server's probably going in a good direction. Um, And I just want to share this as well that there's a few players who probably have been banned who might be rightfully banned, and there's a few players um, who have been banned by Melou as well. But I just want to share one experience between me and Melou, especially a newer Slinky. So one of the times, really very early on in the Bloom server. So we're like, okay, we're like genuinely playing the game and we're all restless for the end fight, right? We're all restless for the end fight. Um, and I want to share this, and guys, I don't want to say this lightly or like, absurdly, but because of another staff member, I'm not going to say who this staff member is, but another staff member helped me prepare for the dragon fight. And so I was like, okay, like I don't know what I'm really expecting. Um, the dragon fight's awesome. And I'm like, okay, well, let's go find other things to do on Bloom, right? Like, they don't want us to do that. And so, a player by the name of Cal Caroots and I actually was streaming this. And if you guys were there on that stream, guys, this was probably 2 years ago. Or it was probably, was it 2023, honestly? It might have been 2023. No, it was 2024. Yeah, because I was playing a lot of Bloom then. Cal and I went to go check out, the portal, and we were just kind of messing around, and we're like, hey, like, let's go check out an end portal, right? Like, we were gonna go look for end. Oh gosh, I can't think of what they're called. The end armor trim. That's what they're called. So we were doing some end armor trim raiding because there weren't that many. This is when Bloom was 5K by 5K, 5,000 blocks. But this is very small Bloom. 10,000 blocks is like absurdly a lot, honestly, compared to what it was then. Um, but yeah, we went in and and I was in the Discord. I'm jumping back and forth between my stream and my thing, and I'm freaking amazed. Like we go into the Nether, and what's crazy is Cal and I could have been banned actually. So we could have been banned uh from this, and actually there were a couple players. I don't want to say this lightly, guys, but a couple of players were actually calling for us to get banned, which is crazy, honestly. I think that's crazy nowadays. But because both Cal had a history of poor engagement with the community, and I was just a new player, and they're like, oh, they're just like totally causing trouble, and that's totally understandable. You could totally see from their perspective, but they were calling for a ban, guys, which is crazy. And so Melou comes on, and says, okay, like we might have to ban you. And guys, I'm not kidding when I say this. I told them if you ban us, you also have to remove all the end armor trims I've given to players, and they had to go find them. Right? I mean, it was probably very simple for them to just remove the chest that I placed and the end armor trim that I threw in. I had given them to about 20 players, and Cal gave a few as well. And so we have like 30 end armor trims on the server. Like, hey guys, like we don't want to just remove these. Like that's a bad idea. And so ultimately, they did say they just slapped us off with a warning, with a verbal warning. But I want to only shared this experience, guys, because Melou actually has done a lot for Bloom. I know that some people and even me as well. A lot of us have criticized staff at times, and that's actually understandable I think at those times. But I don't. But I think Melou as well, like did a really good job, honestly, when it came to the staff. Like objectively, if you look at it, these are really pretty good people. Honestly, these are really solid people. Um, and yeah, like, and I even know even one of my friends. I really got to know them really well. Honestly, they didn't actually become a staff member, and I don't understand why. And that's okay. Honestly, like that's okay to like not get what you want. There are times in life where you may not be ready to handle a responsibility, right? Like there are responsibilities that sometimes you're not ready to handle, and that's okay, honestly, right? Like, maybe you're not given a chance, or maybe you feel that you're disrespected, and that's okay, honestly. I think that's completely fine. Um, and sometimes, and Milu actually does explain this here, and that is life. You sometimes you have so much going on, you kind of have to miss the server, right? Your health is important, your job is your real world job is important. That's some things I think the younger generation that plays Bloom doesn't quite get yet, and that's okay. They've been growing, and I've noticed that there's a lot of people understanding that more, which is awesome. But when jobs were a thing, like, yeah, just some of us had a real world jobs. I was one of them. And yeah, so I just wanted to share that lesson, that because Milu could have banned Cal and I, doesn't really mean that, like, it's always the it's always the way you need to be going. You don't always need to be so objective. You don't need to always be so um one-sided, like it's awesome to see when people like try and, like, you look at people and say, okay, this is still something that needs to happen, like it's still a punishment that needs to happen, um but you do it with kindness of your heart, right? You do it with the loving kindness, and sometimes love is tough love, guys. And so while Cal and I only got a slap on the wrist, from Milu, there were other people in the community who were a little bit unhappy, right? Like you're never going to be able to please every person. And so that lesson as a whole, I think, taught a lot about, the community. It teaches a lot about yourself, and how are you going to react to people who aren't very nice to you. Like, you know, that experience as a whole taught me a lot about Milu, actually, the server owner, the former server owner now. And so, yeah, I just wanted to share that experience because I think it's super important to be out there. I want to promote that kind of kindness. And Bloom, I think, is a fantastic server, honestly. Like, just because I have taken a break from it doesn't mean that I don't come into the Discord and see what you guys write. Like, I'm still very active in the community on the back end, at least from my end. So when people say, "Oh, we haven't seen Slick in a long time," it's like, maybe I'm not in the game itself, or maybe I'm not like typing in the Discord, but I'm still watching you guys. And so just want to let you know that there are some people who I notice, man, like there are some people who do care, and there are some people who are very much like awesome people, and you find those people and you just kind of like hold on to it. So just a little lesson I wanted to share with you guys from Cal and I, from me being a new player and Cal having a rougher history on previous Bloom, to seeing Milu, like, just kind of get pushed a little bit harder, and then she pulls back a little bit more, and I think that's awesome. I think that's actually how we should look at a lot of things. And so Milu set a really good example for how we definitely should treat people and others that are around us. So really, shout out to Milu, honestly, for the little experiences that you got to share. And I'm sure nobody ever really looked at it that way in the moment, but like we look at it with hindsight 2020, and I think it's awesome to say, okay, like she's willing, she's given this up, she's given up that for this all this stuff, and having that awesome, and she's how awesome is it that we got to have Milu, right? Like, um, and again, and she claims it's in good hands and it's a bright future. So we have an awesome, like, Bloom, like 2.0 might have like been done, but this is practically update 2.5, right? Like this is practically the next big update of Bloom SMP. And so, we all are obviously going to be missing Milu, and we're all always going to appreciate what she's done, but like, we really should like send some appreciation to her for what she actually has done, for all the things that we've done, and it's awesome to share that experience with you guys. So yeah, so thank you everyone for listening to this little like podcast. I will still cover. I'm still gonna cover news on Bloom, guys. You know, it's not something I'm gonna do, but you know, I just want to end with. I just want to end with this. Thank you so much for all the time I've had with you. It's been a blessing. I have to admit, it hurts my heart, but I do truly believe it's what's best for me. You know where to find me, and that's gonna be her streams. And so, yeah, just shout out to Melou for that. Shout out to Melou for giving us another chance. Give other people chances. I think that's the lesson I want you guys to learn from this. My name is I'm a Slinky. I hope everyone has a great day.